Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today's episode we're going to work on an H1 Hummer. The guy needs a hitch installed. The hitch that he bought was kind of like, I don't know, in my opinion, it's a very, very poor design. So we're going to be removing the hitch that he bought and we're going to cut out a square and throw a 2-inch hitch receiver, weld that up, and should be good to go. Because once you see what's on here, for how beefy this truck is, to put on something so easily bendable when hauling a trailer is just, it blows my mind that people sell this kind of stuff. So we're heading out there right now. We're gonna take off the cross beam, pull it off, get it on my table, mark it up, get this thing burned in. All right, so we just showed up to his house. This is the poor design that someone sold them to pull a 16 to 17,000 pound trailer. First time he hit the brakes, this thing just bent. He almost lost his whole load. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this whole cross member. Sorry for the dog in the background. He's going nuts right now. So we're gonna remove this whole cross member right here. We're gonna get it back to my house. We're gonna remove all this, and we're gonna end up buying a new one or making a new hitch receiver. We're gonna cut a hole in this tube, we're gonna burn it in, and then what he's gonna have to do is get a drop hitch. I think that's the strongest and more durable way of doing this, because this is unacceptable for people to be selling this and claim that it can hold up the weight, especially with no gussets or anything in the rear. You know, that's a huge liability, having a trailer do that, slam in the back of your car. So, all right, let's get this thing off. After about 10 minutes of beating it with the hammer, this thing was wedged up in there. So sorry I had to cut it short and you didn't see this thing drop out, but we got it. We're gonna remove all this off. We're gonna start mapping it out, get this thing going. this is what we're left with. We're gonna keep this. We'll probably notch this out, and then we'll notch this out. And then we're gonna go get a new receiver or make one depending on what scrap I have. And this is gonna be the base of where our hitch is. We're not gonna have any bending points or anything. So I'm gonna put it in here, and if I have to reinforce it, we'll go from there, but it's gonna be plenty strong. Got everything taken apart, got my measurements pulled out. It's double plated on the back of this bracket, so I don't want to mess around with trying to cut it with a torch and have a bunch of blowback. So I'm gonna run down to my buddy Brady Welding's shop, B Welding, local guy here in Fresno, does amazing work on pretty much damn near everything. So he's got a plasma cutter. I'm gonna see if he can cut this out for me real quick, and then I'll bring it back, clean it up, and that way we can weld it in. All right, just got back from my buddy's shop. He helped me cut this piece out. This is what I was talking about. When it's double plated like this and you hit it with a torch, sometimes it'll blow back at you and just make a huge mess. So by hitting it with the plasma cutter, it took all about 10 minutes. It's gonna be perfect. So now I'm gonna square this up, find out how deep I wanna put this, clean this up, tack it in place, and then make sure all the brackets and everything that were on it originally still fit good. If I have to modify something, then we'll do it then. Got this thing all cleaned up, ready to weld. I got the hitch receiver squared to this tube. That way when it's on there, it's nice and flush. Got everything centered. Time to burn it in. So I picked up this new M.I.A 250. I'm gonna be running this today. So I ran it a couple times already, and this thing is a workhorse. So this is gonna be perfect for the job. Let's get it all tuned in, dialed, everything like that. Find the right speed and volts. Yeah. This project's coming along easy. All right, so right here I'm running 75-25. I'm on low range, so I'm gonna be running about 74 wire and 20.5. So I got it dialed in. I'm gonna do a couple tacks, see how it works, and go from there. All right, so this is where the rear supports used to bolt up. You can see the holes right there. So it's not gonna match up. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm just gonna notch about halfway up. So this sits where those holes used to go, and then I'm just gonna weld these brackets directly on. And then when it all fits up, it'll bolt on the rear, and this will just be solid mounted. That's how I pulled it off. So it's not like it makes it any harder to pull it off if need to work on it or anything like that. So, And then after I weld it on, I might run a plate across, just connecting everything. But I'm gonna get all this tacked up, run back to the house, mock everything up, make sure it all lines up with my bolt holes. That way I'm not fighting or having to twist or anything like that. Once everything's a go, I'll burn it in, and then I'll see if I want to plate it afterwards. Yep, it's going to work out just fine now. Perfect. Do it to the other side, clean it all up, and then I'm going to tack those in place. All right, got everything tacked up. All that I have left, this originally went behind. I didn't feel like messing with it, so I'm gonna cut these, just weld them straight so he has his hook rings. So let's cut this into two, clean them up, clean up the surface, weld these on. All right, so here's the finished product. Got everything all welded up. All that's left, I'm gonna paint it pretty good. Factory. All right, we're all set for the install. So my apologies, I'm filming all this off my phone. I'll try to find a good way to position the phone, because this is going to kind of be a pain by myself to get up in there, but we're going to work with what we got. have it. Got the new hitch receiver installed. He ordered a drop hitch to fit his trailer because as this Humvee sits pretty high compared to what he's towing. All right, guys, that is gonna wrap it up for the Humvee hitch receiver. Client came out, he was super stoked. He told me, he's like, oh, it looks like it's from the factory. And that's what I shoot for. So this was a fun job. I told the guy I would love to work on this Hummer more. So if there's anything in the future that you need, hit up your boy. Again, guys, thanks for watching and thanks for supporting the channel. Until next time, peace.